Hey everybody, it's your girl TinkMarshae back with another video, and today of course we're going to talk about Funky Dineva. Before we get started, I do need you to like, share, and comment your thoughts below. Actually, I need you to listen to what I have to say first, then comment your thoughts below. Check myself because I know that I'm not in Keke Jabbar's immediate circle of friends, nor am I in her immediate family, right? So Keke and I would talk. I am not a spokesperson for her family. Do recognize that her death came as a surprise to most of us. So I can only imagine what it feels like for her family, her immediate family, to feel those impacts. At the end of the day, people are going to move on to different topics. And guess who's going to be left still grieving? I really believe this is the most messed up thing about grieving is that everybody moves on. And your life is kind of on pause. Most people don't know that pain until it happens to them. So I'm going to do my best to remain calm and just give my commentary and my thoughts and opinions about what Funky Dineva had to say about Keke Jabbar. Again, my condolences to the family of Keke Jabbar. I do apologize for the disrespect, the disgusting comments that people have made and will make in the future because it's coming. Quinten Latham, November 27, 2015, 11:55 in the morning. Your mom, Miss Latham, lost her battle with cancer. My condolences to you and your family. As we know that grief comes in waves, I'm sure that you feel the effects of your mom not being here today. I mean, maybe. I'm just assuming. During the time of your bereavement, people flock to your comment sections to give you your condolences. This isn't doxing, you guys. This is public information. So I need y'all to understand, I don't do that doxing shit over here. I just have been watching Funky Dineva long enough to know things that he's talked about in the past. So be clear on that. Much like how Keke Jabbar transitioned around the holidays, so did Quinten Latham's mom. Do you see where I'm going with this? I can't wrap my head around the fact that we know that you attended Florida State University and acquired an education in economics, but now you are a full-time social commentator who garners about 500,000 subscribers on YouTube and watch time at least 100,000 per video, right? I would like to know, when you were on your binges, because I hear that you are bringing up the fact that you feel like the manner in which her death matters, right? Having a college education and always asking questions about anything that piques your interest, Funky, or Quinten Latham. I would truly like to know what led you down the path of addiction, being an educated man yourself. As much like you, Keke Jabbar was also college educated. We all should know by now that Keke Jabbar was an English professor at Alabama Agricultural and Mechanical University. I'm really trying to figure out what makes her so different from you. And I'm not throwing nothing up in anybody's face. I just find it interesting when people forget where they come from to where they are now. You've had your bouts with friends. I would say friends can sometimes be family, right? We understand who you are in relations with. I'll put it like that. But when you decided to go public about your dabblings and your ex-best friend, Michelle Brown, sprayed you with your own tea, how did that make you feel? Although Keke wasn't afforded the opportunity to tell her secret with her battles with addiction, right? That opportunity was stripped from her because of certain individuals wanting to plot and plan a story before she even made it to the show. She went to recovery. She was in recovery. Were you? Importantly, I really want to know, how did it make you feel when your best friend, ex-best friend of many years, Michelle Brown, decided to tell the world about the skeletons that was in your closet? I mean, she even exposed the house that you left trash, and it's still up for YouTube to view and see and review over and over again, much like Love and Marriage Huntsville. Some of the most embarrassing moments, I'm sure, of Keke Jabbar's life is filmed on Love and Marriage Huntsville, so we can go and watch that over and over again. Something else that can be consumed over and over again is the video that he decided to snatch down that is now all over social media. And if we can view it, guess who else can view it? Her children. Could it be, or is it that when you experience Keke through the lens of the Scotts, you begin to look at her as others have done you in the past? It's coming off as projecting to me. It seems like you're projecting what others have done to you onto someone who can't even defend themselves. Keke's sons and daughters is in a similar situation as you, and you had a responsibility to the 500, almost 5, I think it's 5,000 people, 500,000 people that watch him. But they're in a similar situation as you, and you know how that has affected you. I know I won't get the answer, but it would be interesting to know, why did you do that? People like to say you don't like black women. You're never going to beat those allegations, sir, doing shit like this. Now, the part that behooves me is the fact that 1 minute you were saying that you wanted to give privacy and respect to the family, which we know now that was the Scotts, because it for damn sure wasn't Keke's immediate family you were speaking to, but you wanted to give privacy only to them then turn around in a matter of a day, really the day after Keke's funeral, I believe, to speak freely about your disdain for her. I wonder, did the Scotts call you and advise you to give them privacy then? Or was it after the backlash? See, what you did is gave us a bird's eye view of the table talk that's been happening behind the scenes, in my opinion. Expectations for people is pretty low. So I didn't expect him, especially, I'm talking to y'all now, I didn't expect him to lift up somebody that he's publicly denounced. But I guess what I expected was a bit more of some human decency and maybe some humanity. Totally understand Keke wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but going on an attack against somebody that you said wasn't worth your time is insanity, especially because you have issues of your own. To say that Keke basically has no right, or the family has no right, to blame a show who's now been responsible for many cast members flat out quitting, battling depression, divorce, lawsuits, etc., is a tone-deaf statement to me. This show has been problematic for a while. That's why many have started petitions, or they just completely blacked out. His own admission, he said that he had to stop reviewing the show because it became so toxic. Or he says the fans made it toxic. So how do we know what the Keke was dealing with behind the scenes? And how do we not know that the family just spoke out of turn because they were grieving? We don't really know where that statement came from, but you're not allowing them the space that you said you were going to give them, grace that you were given when your mom passed away. You're not giving that to them. Although the video has now been taken down, from my understanding, I truly believe that's how he felt because there's no apology, correct? Tell me in the comments, has he apologized? My opinion, the way the uncle is coming across to me, I don't know these people, okay? But the way he's coming off to me is totally normal for somebody that's grieving. I can't really say the same for these bloggers and some others. Some of it is just nasty work and it's wicked. Because what was Black excellence about dogging an unalived woman? The vitriol you spoke, Scott's 2.0, 1.0, and male, etc. I don't want anything to happen to you all. I hope that the death of Keke is the reason that you all find peace and solace in your relationships, because life is very fragile. We all know this. This is why people speak up against the BS that happens on the show and on social media. And y'all know this is becoming Mel fault, right? Speaking of Mel, I remember when that fool called her the B word. Pissed me off. Just appears to me that this man has taken on these beefs that the Scotts have for other people on the show. He has taken it and personalized it. It's almost like he's become family. So he's Scott 3.0. Although this man do not need us to clap for him. I just find it interesting, however, that we have clapped for this man. And Keke takes an opportunity that most people in this sector wouldn't have dared turn down. Why is she so wrong for dreaming? I don't understand why people keep bringing up the fact that she decided to be on this show. What you would have too, had you been offered the opportunity. I mean, you guys would be a fool if you didn't take the opportunity. I would be looking at you sideways. I think the biggest issue that these people have with Keke is the fact that she didn't go through Latisha to come back on the show, because we know that Latisha was the one to originally bring her on. And I feel like when they lost the range to pull the strings behind the scenes concerning Keke Jabbar, my memory serves me well, Keke knew Mel way before Latisha was ever introduced to Mel. She and Mel would do speaking engagements at the schools. Don't they pledge in the same sorority? I could be wrong about that one now. Y'all can correct me in the comments, but I do believe that they were friends prior to Latisha becoming friends with Mel. It's in my opinion that the Scotts became paranoid because the plan was originally to have Keke on to attack Mel for Latisha. When she didn't follow through, she was considered the odd. That's why we got the information about the Scotts running around before the season even aired, to go to each individual on the show around that time to tell about Keke's little secret, right? Planting seeds way before she made her reappearance on the show. Because this plan was concocted between the Scotts and Keke and she reneged, they assumed that she was there to do the same with Mel. They tried to beat her to the punch. People fall out with family all the time. Hell, I fall out with family all the time. It's just not televised. Keke and Latisha's beef has been. We are a bunch of outsiders. I know this. I hope that they can find peace and light, because operating in this darkness has not went well for anyone. Regardless of who did what to whom, it don't even matter anymore. It doesn't matter that you feel like Keke is an op. It should matter that your friends are hurt and they want to grieve their loved one. I couldn't have made this video 3 days ago. Y'all would have seen another side of Tink. And I'm kind of thankful that I stood back for a minute and just kind of analyzed things for what it's worth. At the end of the day, Keke is loved. She's loved by many. especially those who have lifted her up in the darkest time, especially those who continue to speak out in her honor, especially those that was around her daily. They are the ones that truly knows what Keke was dealing with behind closed doors. They're the ones that need to be whole in order to heal and allow the kids space to heal as well. We've talked in circles about the relationship between Latisha and Keke. There has been times where Latisha had an opportunity to express herself and concerns about Keke Jabbar, and she totally walked out on scene. It's at the mere sound of Keke's name. So much material out there, people could be talking about that for a whole nother year. But some commentators are choosing not to. These people don't have 500,000 subscribers. I believe some of them are coming from a sincere place and just understand that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So they want to remain respectful in their own way. And then you have people like this man. Was dealt some of the similar cards that Keke Jabbar was dealt, afforded the same opportunities, because then you make an appearance on Love and Marriage Huntsville to give your comment. One who was really hated by a lot of people when he first began. People made space for you. They clapped for you. They didn't question it. You were smart. You were intelligent. You made people laugh. And they accepted you. Everybody knew that you were imperfect. Who gave you grace? Only for you to later on in life on your platform and disparage a unalived woman. You said everything but fuck her, but what if somebody would have told you the same? It's a damn shame when people get these platforms and they forget where they come from. I would rather hear it from the horse's mouth. Don't have to protect her. She's a grown-ass woman. You can forgive the fact that you weren't able to reconcile with your cousin prior to her unaliving. What I think people will have a hard time settling with, the fact that there has been many people speaking on your behalf, for one. For two, for you to move on in the seasons to come on Love and Marriage Huntsville, behaving and acting the way that you have. See, you still have your life. You have time to make it right. We all deserve second chances at the end of the day. But for me, if comments like that of what Quinten Latham had to say on his platform, your mother has had to say as well, continues, I'm just going to assume you're never going to change. Promised my husband I wouldn't get up here and call anybody the B word or MFer. See, I did good. I'll see y'all in the comments.